On October 1st, 1903, America celebrated the beginning of a sports championship that over a century later is still one of our country's premier events, the World Series. On that day, over 1,600 fans crowded into Boston's Huntington Avenue Park to watch the Red Sox face the Pittsburgh Pirates. As legendary Boston pitcher Cy Young readied the first pitch, a 27-year-old ginger red-haired batter walked to the batter's box and helped cement Racine's connection to baseball's ultimate game. Clarence "Ginger" Beaumont led off the Pirates' first inning, thus becoming the first player ever to bat in a World Series. Born in Rochester, Wisconsin, Beaumont flied out to center, but his immortality was firmly established. If you think that Beaumont's World Series at-bat was his 15 minutes of fame, you would be sadly mistaken. Ginger was a fleet-footed center fielder who was considered the finest leadoff hitter of his time. He led the National League in hits 4 times, scored 100 runs 4 times, and captured the 1902 batting crown with a .357 mark. The batting crown honor these days might fetch a hefty contract and some endorsements, but for Beaumont, his reward was a pair of shoes. Before stats mavens poured over the game's numbers to excess like they do today, Beaumont quietly put up numbers that established him as one of the game's best. Honus Wagner, one of baseball's Hall of Famers who played with Beaumont, put Ginger on his all-time team. Consider some of these other on-field accomplishments. Ginger once had 6 infield hits and was the first player to score 6 runs in a game, all happening in a contest on July 22nd, one day prior to his 23rd birthday. He had a career batting average of .311 with 39 home runs and 617 RBIs. A trade to the Chicago Cubs allowed Beaumont a chance to play in another World Series in 1910, where he made 3 pinch-hitting appearances. Unfortunately, the Pirates' 1903 World Series loss and the Cubs' defeat in the 1910 Fall Classic prevented Ginger from winning baseball's championship. Ironic for the man who was the World Series' first batter. Beaumont began his baseball career in 1896 as a semi-pro catcher, playing in area towns like Rochester, East Troy, and Burlington. In 1898, Ginger was signed to his first professional contract playing with the Milwaukee Brewers. His speed prompted a move to the outfield, and Beaumont thrived in his new role. He made his major league debut on April 21, 1899, at the age of 22. Knee problems eventually took their toll on Beaumont, and he ended his major league career in 1911 when the Cubs released him. After leaving baseball, Ginger returned to Wisconsin and concentrated on running his 180-acre farm in Honey Creek.
He didn't like farming. He liked ownership, but he didn't want to do the work.
He was one of the first inductees to the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame in 1951. He died on April 10, 1956, in Burlington Hospital at the age of 79. His obituary in the Sporting News called him one of the game's all-time great outfielders. He also has a baseball field named after him in Burlington.